Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about exclusive Obi-Wan Disney Plus series on hold as crew sent home. And the crew was basically said to go and look for other jobs, but the Obi-Wan series is still not canceled, but just go ahead and look for a new job in the interim. If we call you back, we'll sure to do it eventually. It was pretty much the answer the crew got when Kathleen Kennedy pretty much canned the project. But let's get into this article and see what's actually happening, shall we? Last week, troubling rumors began swirling about the upcoming Disney Plus series revolving around the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor is poised to reprise his role from the Star Wars prequels in a story set 8 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. Screenwriter Hassan Amini, Drive, and director Deborah Chow, The Mandalorian, were tapped to spearhead this series, and production was on pace to begin this year. These rumors hinted at potential trouble behind the scenes, and while we're hearing the show isn't canceled, we are hearing that it's been delayed. Two independent sources with knowledge of the situation tell Collider that the Obi-Wan series has been put on hold, as the crew that had assembled at Pinewood Studios in London was sent home. A time frame was not given, but the crew was told that the show would be down indefinitely. And they were basically told to go and find other jobs, like I said earlier. The trouble behind the scenes was the fact that Kathleen Kennedy was, being her usual self and basically being stupid about it. No doubt this is all vindictiveness on Kathleen Kennedy's part. While she's in charge of Lucasfilm, she's going to use what remaining power she has to basically, try and maybe ruin as many projects like Obi-Wan Kenobi, because she's just vicious and angry that her probably career is over now. We're hearing that Lucasfilm president and Obi-Wan producer Kathleen Kennedy was not happy with the scripts. Sources tell us that what will most likely happen next is the scripts will be reworked with the hopeful goal of reassembling this summer. But there's always the possibility that time frame could shift. So Kathleen Kennedy is not happy. As I said, I think she's just doing this because she's vindictive, and she's going to take her anger out on the fact that her career is over off on any Lucasfilm project currently in production, because I think she's just doing this because she is just angry. Now, I can hear you down in the comments saying that's not professional behavior from Kathleen Kennedy, and she would not act like that. No professional in Hollywood would act like that. And I say no, they would act like that because they are a bunch of babies. Yes, I know she should be professional about her job, but the way I see it, in 2 years when her contract is up, she's out of the door of Lucasfilm and she won't be back. So I have no doubt that she's going to lower it over the people under her while she's still in power, at least to some level, because her career, in my opinion, is over. And even if she puts out the outward appearance that she's handling Lucasfilm in a professional manner in the proper way that, executives should, no doubt she probably is looking for any way to save that career, or at the very least when she's out, have some kind of career left. It sounds like Kennedy would rather ensure that the story being told with this Disney Plus series is as good as it can be on the page before they roll cameras, and rather than move forward with hesitations, she's asked that they go back and rework what's on the page. This makes a lot of sense, as Lucasfilm has a history with troubled productions. Recently, Rogue One was rewritten and reworked during filming, with Tony Gilroy spearheading reshoots that spanned most of the third act. And Solo, a Star Wars story, directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller notably exited that film in the middle of production, with Ron Howard coming in to take over. This Obi-Wan delay comes on the heels of a chilly reception for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the third and final film in Lucasfilm's new sequel trilogy. Not only has the concluding chapter in the Star Wars trilogy earned the worst critical reception of any Star Wars movie thus far, it's on pace to be the lowest grossing film in this new trilogy. Although, to be fair, it's still grossing $1 billion at the box office, when it should be making $2 billion. The people recently argued that the third Star Wars movie always receives more money than the second one. At least a lot of people used to argue that fact, especially before Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, was going to be released. Do we hear about that anymore? No! We only hear that Star Wars Episode 9 is grossing $1 billion. When The Force Awakens made $2.2 billion, right? Of course, merely getting $1 billion is good in this day and age when it took about $800 million to promote this movie, right? Basically, they only made $200 million in profit. And currently, if you look back in early years in filmmaking, if a movie just makes more than its just budget, that's breaking even, and barely breaking even at that. So, no, this movie is a flop. The Obi-Wan series actually began its life as a feature film when Stephen Dudley, the reader, was on tap to direct, but after some development, Lucasfilm decided instead to expand and adapt that planned story into a TV series for the Disney Plus streaming service. Yeah, they only didn't make it into a feature film because, well, Solo, a Star Wars story, bombed. I have no doubt that they probably would have made this into a feature film. It would have been another mediocre spin-off series, and we would have just been forced to endure it, just like Solo. But they wanted to make it into a TV series, and people were hopeful about it, not me. I don't really think I'd enjoy The Mandalorian even if I was watching it. But that's my own opinion on this. I detest anything related to Disney nowadays, and I just don't see any good that would have come from having this series. If you enjoy The Mandalorian, that's good for you, but I just don't like any of these Star Wars series, period. Though I did enjoy the Clone Wars series, and I am going to do a video on the trailer for Season 7, so keep checking back in my future videos for that today. Lucasfilm is being tight-lipped with regards to its future film plans. Beyond a Kevin Feige-produced feature, a new trilogy from Rian Johnson's that's still in development, and maybe a Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, but production is already underway on Season 2 of the hit Disney Plus series The Mandalorian. The second season of the well-received live-action show is due to be released later this year, once again under the tutelage of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And indeed, Obi-Wan director Deborah Chow not doubt landed that plum gig after showcasing her talents helming the standout 3rd and 7th episodes of The Mandalorian Season 1. That's a lot of great potential in this Obi-Wan series, and while it's not great news that there's been a delay, it likely comes as a relief that Kennedy and co. are taking their time to get this particular series right. Okay, maybe Kathleen Kennedy is taking this professionally, but I have my doubts that she's not yelling and screaming behind the doors of Lucasfilm, and that she's probably worried sick that she's going to have no career when her, contract is up in 2 years. But maybe she is handling the Obi-Wan series in a professional manner, but all I can say is we don't really know what's going on. For all we know, she's a screaming wreck, and she's yelling at people, and people are basically just getting out of her way as quickly as possible. Or Kathleen Kennedy sees the Obi-Wan series as her last chance to have any impact on Lucasfilm going forward into the future, and she hopefully thinks this will save her career if she tries to pump out this series in as well a good and professional manner as possible, and hopefully fans will like it. And maybe they will, but I hope they don't, because I don't want Kathleen Kennedy to stay at Lucasfilm any longer than she has to. So I hope this Obi-Wan series just falls through and that Kathleen Kennedy goes down in flames, and when her contract is up in 2 years, she's booted out of the front door of Lucasfilm as fast as possible. She lands flat on her butt, and we never have to see her or any of the guys who've ruined Star Wars ever again. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics They're Bad For You. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. I still have a library channel, but I'm still working on it, so when I have the chance, I'll announce that you can pretty much join it when it's really ready. Also, could you please share this video? Share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, and share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their own YouTube creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could please share this video. Now listen closely. It's that time of the day again. It's plug-in time. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.